The Rising of the Shield Hero, Volume 6, Chapter 137, The People of the Sea. Gotta. Oh, that's the cart going around. Gotta. No, it's more like a gotta. Yeah. On that day, a carriage with supplies from the Queen arrived. I heard the hero of the shield could be found here. What do you need? The knight who came with the carriage addressed me. I think I've seen this face before. I think she was practicing swordsmanship with Raftalia. Oh, right. Knights can be women, too. Go, what country is this? Good job them for not being sexist. And bad on me for being sexist and giving all of the knights more masculine voices, because knights can be women. Her appearance is that of a stranded female knight from a game. If she takes off her helmet, I think her face will rival Raftalia's in beauty. Her hair is long and strawberry blonde. Most of it is stuffed into her helmet. Her eyes are blue, like Fido's. She looks like she would fit the role of a wicked queen perfectly. She is accompanied by other knights, one of whom I recognize as part of a volunteer army that helped me during the wave before the last. Hero of the Shield! You, how have you been? We're working hard on rebuilding the city. I'll bet, but it's not like... but that's not what I'm asking. What has happened to you guys since then? Nothing major's changed. I've been sent here to act as messengers, while the others are reinforcements. Ah, I see. The Queen seems to have completely grasped my train of thought. She has already sent more personnel. For now, it's just me, but I've been instructed to act as the official messenger between here and the castle. Not the Shadows? Those people are to act as the unofficial messengers. What's the difference? Well, it doesn't really matter. I've been asked to act as a martial arts instructor for the slaves. Ah, that will help. Raftalia is mostly self-taught. It's good to have someone with professional training experience. So, where are the ever-so-important slaves right now? I sent them out to level grind. I think they'll be around level 25 when they get back. Your lessons sure are fast-paced. It's Spartan style. Also, I plan to have around 30 more people for non-combat related purposes. For what purpose would that be? This and that. Well, we also need to rebuild the buildings. Understood. I'll relay that to the castle. Now then, I need to move on the next task as well. Recently, I've been researching various plants. I'm trying to see why I can't modify certain substances. There are quite a few faults to my modification skills. For some reason, there are some plants I can edit and some I cannot. In that respect, the bioplant is very easy to modify, so I'll see if I can make the bioplant produce some simple medicine. I finished writing a plot for the plant without issue. The hero of the shield sure is enthusiastic. Kale, who had just returned, stumbles out of the carriage. He has stopped complaining to me about cooking, but his stomach still growls. A few days later. Ahaha! The slaves are having fun climbing up the bioplant. Their levels have all passed 30, their appearance has also changed, and now they look to be around 14 to 15 years old. They only look slightly younger than Raftalia. They have started to look an age that can actually be sent out to battle. They seem to be growing quite healthily. Their appearance, well, I would put it above village children, but there is no one here who rivals Raftalia in looks. It seems they are just eating proper meals. Out of the boys, the one with the best face is probably Kale. His face looks like a girl's. He might grow into a pretty boy one day. Rather than saying he looks like a boy, it would be more accurate to say he looks like a boyish girl. I know some people who are really into that. Not that it matters to me. Hey, Shield Nichan, we've only been having meat and vegetables for a while. I'm tired of it. Don't be selfish. For some reason, he started to become quite impudent. It's getting to be quite a pain to deal with. I should try to set him straight, but he does his work fine, so there's not much I can do. He's been acting quite familiar with me. He's talking to me as a younger brother rather than a slave. He's also begun to say thank you when getting food. As long as he's motivated. It seems many of these children were used for physical labor before. It may seem strange coming from me, but many consider it unethical to send child slaves into battle. They are mostly used for other purposes. They are quite skillful at physical work. Hey, I'm gonna go off to the ocean and catch some fish, so please cook them, Nichan. I don't remember becoming your brother. Keel is definitely looking down on me. Should I lecture him? Oh, right. Keel seems to be shorter than the other boys. His voice is also higher. I would also like some fish. Rishi and the other slaves voice out their agreement. Nichan, I want to eat seafood. Yeah, seafood! Damn, it seems like I've mass-produced Fidos. It's a good thing the eggs haven't hatched yet. Oh, yeah, alright. There's no way I could handle a strange monster joining in here. Ah, I got it. Today we'll go to the beach and catch some fish. While we're there, Fido, go swim out to capture some aquatic monsters. Yes! Like, not enthusiastic at all. So it turned out that we were headed for the sea. Well, it has been getting quite hot lately. Swimming around won't hurt a bit. Swimming around a bit won't hurt. These people, they lived here before so they can swim, right? And so, after a short walk, we reach our destination. And so, the slaves enthusiastically run out towards the water carrying harpoons. They all take off their clothes and enter in their underwear. In the middle of this, I noticed, Raftali and Rishia noticed as well. Now, Fumi-sama? Fido, go catch Kale! I got it. What is it? Fido drags Kale out of the ocean. Kale is violently struggling under Fido's arm. What is it, Shiodni-chan? Let me say this first. I don't really care, but there is something I must point out, a large problem in the way you act. And I'm asking what it is. The other slaves notice the commotion and come over. They seem to have caught on to the problem. Kale-kun, are you possibly supposed to be Kale-chan? What are you talking about? I'm a boy. Kale's chest has a bandage wrapped around it, and she is wearing a loincloth below. For obvious reasons, Raftalia is pointing at Kale's nether regions. Recently, I have been unable to read Raftalia's behavior. It may be meeting up with old friends has restored some lost parts of her personality. Kale-kun, do you know the difference between a man and a woman? Question mark. A man is someone who has... Raftalia begins whispering in Kale's ear. That can't be true. If I were God, I wouldn't do something so painstaking as to differentiate men and women like that. Then please... Look at the other boys. No. Look at the other boys. No. Look at Naofumi-sama. He's a bit different, isn't he? His chest isn't wrapped, right? What are you talking about? That's what happens when you become an adult. I just have a bit of excess fat, so my chest sticks out. This fucking kid. Does this really happen? Has this happened to anyone? When I become an adult, it'll fix itself. Why did his parents not tell him that he was a girl? How does this happen? Whew. The BS is spilling out at quite an alarming rate. How the hell was Kale raised before becoming a slave? I have too many questions. Or was she perhaps raised without such standards? Was she allowed to freely choose her definition for male and female? Whatever the case, she was definitely raised abnormally. Anyways, how did no one notice during the time she was a slave? Was this part of the slave dealer's schemes? If I were the slave dealer, I wouldn't go to the trouble of changing a slave's worldview, and would just sell her as is. This country is quite rotten. There's probably a perverted noble who would buy her thinking she were a pretty boy, and maybe another pervert who found Kale's lack of gender identity to be a turn-on, and this just raises her selling price. It seems she's already been sold a few times. I think I heard that she had broken too many plates at her last place and thus had been returned. Kale also had some sign of significant physical abuse, so I guess she didn't receive any preferential treatment. It seems that the abuse of demi-human slaves is quite common in this country. Raftalia has also showed such signs of abuse. I guess this is the after-effects of the recent war with Siltwelt. Out of the 8 slaves, one of them said they were saved by a hero before. I guess even those people can't stand to see children being abused. I see that they have left the issue to the country, and the child had eventually been resold as a slave anyways. In the few days since she came here, I've gotten a good grasp on what personality Kale has. Around 6 of the new slaves will still act cautiously when away from Raftalia, but that isn't an issue when I have any influence over. I'll leave that to Raftalia and Rishia. At night, Raftalia puts the other children to sleep and sometimes sleeps next to them. She also went through a similar experience, so she is able to understand their problems. Even if I stay around, I don't think they will open their hearts to me. Fido, being Fido, is able to interact with them. She seems to be good with dealing with children in general, that bird. This may be similar to the practice of animal therapy. However, the children still get nauseous at the sight of her prized carriage. But father said that a man is a man if he thinks he is a man no matter what. So did the daughter begin to imitate her father's manly attitude? And anyways, that talk in itself is implying that you are a woman. She was raised like someone from a story I heard about. The other female slaves laugh amongst themselves. I heard some women like to imagine boys who cross-dress, but what do they think of a girl who wants to be a man of the sea? This can't be. I mean, what's the point of separating men and women anyways? I don't even know anymore. What? Oh, okay. I was really confused trying to figure what the... Yeah. Yeah, there's an author note at the bottom that's... like an author note from the author, not a note from the translator. That's why the translator says it's the real one, because it's the real author. Really just kind of threw that into Kale, apparently. Keel. I don't know. I was calling him Kale before. It's probably Keel, though.